Hey guys, Amanda here at Bare Bones Living, and today I'm going to try something really exciting. It's game day, and we have a venison shoulder that Mike harvested last year. It was his first deer, and I haven't cooked a whole lot of venison before, but we slow cooked a hind quarter earlier in the year and it turned out really well. We left one hind quarter and one shoulder fully intact to slow cook, and that one turned out really well, so I wanted to do the shoulder also as a slow cook. And since it's game day, I wanted to try making a venison pepperoncini, like a pulled pork kind of a deal. Like a pepperoncini beef, but a pepperoncini venison sandwich. So let me show you what we're doing with that. So what I have in here is our venison shoulder, and I trimmed it up a little bit to get some of the sinew off. I still have some on here, and it also had some clotted blood from when we carved up the venison. So I just washed it all off, got as much of the blood clot out of here as I could, and I got rid of some of the sinew and chewy bits that I didn't really want to consume. And this should really be an easy recipe. I was hoping to make this in my slow cooker, but whole like this, it doesn't fit. And it's still a little frozen, but the game's gonna start in like an hour, and I want to get this cooking. So I put it in my big roaster, but I'm a little concerned about like the volume of water that it's going to take to fill this roaster and really submerge this meat and cook it down. So I'm gonna start it at least in the roaster, and then I might actually chop this in half and move it to my slow cooker later. But we'll see what happens. So what I'm going to be using as the base of my broth is a beer, and it's Oktoberfest season, and my favorite kind of beer is Oktoberfest beers. So I'm going to use an Oktoberfest Sam Adams. And I might have to, I'll probably add another one. Yeah, let's be real. I'm gonna add another one. And I think too what I'm gonna do, Mike and I were talking about it, and I think I'm actually gonna flip this shoulder over so the majority of the meat is in the liquid, submerged. And then I'm going to be putting some onion soup mix. Season this with onion soup mix. And some gravy mix. Just brown gravy mix. And then I'm going to cook this, I'm actually going to cook it on high for 4 hours. I didn't really prepare for this ahead of time. Otherwise I would have cooked it on low for 8 hours, but you know, such is life. I have a little bit of chicken broth, homemade chicken broth, that I'm gonna add into this as just some more seasoning. There's not a whole lot I can do with just a little quarter cup of chicken broth. And last but not least, I'm going to be using a jar of pepperoncini peppers and their juices. Come on out. All right. And then, like I said, I think I'm just gonna actually turn this over so that the majority of the meat is in the juice. And then I'm gonna put this on 300, which is the high setting for a slow cooker, and see how that starts to look. In about an hour, I'll probably come back and check on this, see how it's cooking, and I'll make the decision at that point whether I should switch it over to the crock pot or not. So I did end up breaking down the shoulder, folding it up, and sticking it in my crock pot to see if that kind of helps submerge my meat a little better. But it is starting to look to break down a little faster. So I have been cooking this for about 5 hours now on high, and I came and used some forks and pulled off and shredded a lot of the meat. Some of these joint pieces and stuff are still not totally there, so I just had to like move it around. And I left these bones in there the whole time just to add to the flavor and the nutrients, kind of like a bone broth idea. So this shoulder blade is totally cleaned off, but I just left that in there. And I am ready to plate this up on some sandwiches. So I'm really excited about these sandwiches. The meat turned out great. I did like a little light dip on the gravy on the bun, and I think this is going to be a perfect sandwich to try my homemade giardiniera. This one is Mike's sandwich, and he does not like peppers, so I won't put it on there, but I'm going to try it on mine. Alright, and here's my sandwich all made up. I got the gravy on the bun, I got my giardiniera on there, my pepperoncini side. Oops. And I tried a little bit of that giardiniera, you guys. It is so good. This is my first time trying it. I am so excited for this sandwich. Thank you guys for stopping by today and joining in on our journey here at Bare Bones Living. We'll catch you on the next one.